You are listening to Skipping the Queue. We're covering Ultraman Blazar episode 9 today. My name is Red. I am joined by Mel.
Time to go, Garadama. Take your dreadful memories with you.
Hell fucking yeah. Also joined by Razan.
I hope when I die, I don't go out spewing goop out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's an unconscious reflex.
Well.
Rip. We watched episode 9 of Ultraman Blazar. When we saw the next time for this episode last week, and we were like, oh, sick, they're bringing Garamon back. Hell yeah. Can't wait for the Garamon episode. We didn't know. We didn't know that it was just like a massive Ultra Q bonanza.
This was a feast made for us specifically.
Somehow we lucked into this particular timeline in this particular year.
Yeah, I didn't know what a Garamon was in 2022, and now, Tsuburaya Productions is pandering to me. It's perfect. So yes,
the people over at Tsuburaya are looking at the Blu-ray sales and then looking at the decisions being made for who gets put into what modern Ultraman series, and then they're going, yes, the process, it's working.
Yeah, they are presumably making just like, I don't know, millions. I mean, it sounds smaller when you say yen. Billions of yen just like rolling in.
All trillion dollars.
All $1 trillion every day. Fantastic. Anyway, so this episode, everyone was just
it's also a Macross episode.
It's also a Macross episode. Very, 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 very briefly here. Anri encounters some, like, a string quartet out on the street, and they invite her to a concert. And on the day of the concert, she can't attend because there is a kaiju that has landed. It is the giant robot Garamon has landed from space, looking just exactly like, it's just fucking kept this, there's barely any update. This is just the fucking Ultra Q episode.
Even crashes into like a body of water.
Yes. Yeah. And then what are they? Scarred. That's what I was about to say. The Ultra Guard.
Basically, the Ultra Guard.
Scarred figure out that Garamon's being controlled by music, and Henry recognizes the waves, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's that tune that we're playing." She runs to the concert as Ultraman fights Garamon, and
he's not doing too good.
He's not doing too great because Garamon
is powerful.
Garamon strong.
I've never, as a problem dealt with by June, I've never thought of Garamon as like a powerful entity. Now this has me recontextualizing. I just think June's that strong.
June did not fist fight Garamon. He did what Anri did.
That's true.
I would love to see Jun fist fight Garamon, though. He should do that.
He has to double team Garamon and Pegula.
Oh no, it's him and Pegula team up to fight Garamon for this one episode.
Just this once, you bastard.
Absolutely. Riding Pegula into battle. God.
Somehow, someone still let Ippei have the rocket launcher.
Yes. So yeah, I guess it's possible that someone would listen to this and not know about Garamon, but I'll get to the end of this summary first. Anri heads to the concert and is like, "You're controlling Garamon with your music. Why?" And the cellist, the main guy, in the group, turns and it's a little flash of the cicada people, the alien cicada. I can't remember what the name was.
They're just
Cicada men.
Fantastic.
This is before they did like Alien Blank.
Yeah, the cicada man. He's a cicada man. They have been sent to Earth to control a giant robot to destroy the Earth. But the moment they landed, they got Macrossed, they got Lin Min made, they discovered music, and they went full, what is it, blue team? Blue something?
I think so, yeah.
And they don't want to destroy the Earth, they just want to play music. And this is their last concert. They have to do this. And Henri shoots him, stops the performance, and Garamon is disabled. And the cellist is like collapses as the curtain falls. He's like, I'm glad that humanity wasn't destroyed.
And then everyone clapped.
Yep. Good episode.
This is. I hate to say this about the throwback episode to the other TV show I really like a lot. This is by far, I think, the best episode we've gotten of the show. I adore it so much.
It kind of is. Because it's like, there's a lot. I mean.
But beyond just being a throwback,
yes.
It's just fucking good, right? Like. It's not just the fact that it's referencing another thing we happen to like a lot. It's just a really well put together, like, story beyond that.
But it's also like weaves in the callback, throwback in like a really smart way. I think.
Yes,
just as good. It does a good. It executes it well. On top of just being well.
It never feels overbearing or like it's too distracting.
The time when it is distracting. It's distracting in a way where I'm like, oh my god, let's fucking go. So for those who don't know, go ahead.
You know what? You go. Because I think it's we may as well go watch Ultra Q out of the way.
If anyone doesn't know about Garamon and the Cicada Men, go watch Ultra Q. There's a couple of episodes in there. The first one. It's very funny that we're this hype about Garamon returning, because the first Garamon episode we largely were just like, it's here, I guess. And then the second Garamon episode is
one of the best episodes of that show.
One of the best episodes of Ultra Q. And the Cicada Man in particular is so cool. Big fans of Garamon coming back. I don't know, because I know
it's the first season of this podcast, so go listen to it after you watch the show.
Yes. Also, trivia that I think I did manage to get into that podcast that we did about it. The mountain that they're going to in that episode is the Initial D mountain.
I feel like I have heard this before.
Yes, I believe I have said it. Yeah, because they're like, they're going into Gunma Prefecture, and then they're talking about Mount Harana, and I'm like, excuse me, that's the Initial D mountain. That's the mountain Initial D is based off of. The episode's really good. This modern iteration also very, very good. As like a part of watching next time is kind of spoiling yourself on the episode a little. So getting Garamon and going like, oh, Garamon's coming back, that's cool. But also like, lessens the surprise of Garamon coming in. Having the Cicada Man on top of that is like a best of both worlds, baby. Let's go.
We need to talk about the fact that the musicians control Garamon by playing the Ultra Q theme.
I only realized after the fact that they start by playing the Ultra Q noise from the opening. I was like, what? I was like, what are they doing? It sounds
like it's not. It sounds like really discordant sounds, but then you realize.
Yeah. And then they play the Ultra Q theme, and it's fucking sick. They also ended with the outro is just a clean version of it, so thank you, Blazar. That's going at the end of this episode.
Also, something I realized, I think the reason that they did the whole music angle is because I'm pretty sure in that episode, the Cicada Man from the original I guess the second Garamon episode of Ultra Q, he hides the control device in a cello, right?
Fuck, he does!
Shit.
Yes.
Fuck, I forgot about this. Holy shit.
I completely forgot that's what that is absolutely correct. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
This episode's brain is so huge.
It's big. The only thing it's missing is a trucker being like wood. That does happen.
that does happen. He's there's like it's like doing some 60s like gender stuff where he's like, oh, that man sure did look like very effeminate and like, you know, like a lady, and you know, I kind of would. And it's like, I wasn't expecting that last part.
It is funny when Earth Garon lands. By the way, Earth Garon, kind of a jobber.
Don't say that about my boy.
But it's just funny when they land and like Gento's like, yeah, so the higher ups are calling Garamon, and Yasuno was like, oh, that's such an old fashioned name. And
yes. It is. You know, there is a part of me that's like, I want to say that this is the best episode, but I can't tell. It might not be, but it feels like it is to me.
We can revisit this thought and like when the show's done, because, you know,
true,
we're still not halfway through, which is crazy.
Yeah. I just mean there's like there's a certain degree to which my enjoyment of this episode is tied to, oh look, it's Garamon. But also the thing we haven't talked about is like there is drama here around the around these musicians, these Cicada Men, who, like, from the jump you can see that there's something off about, you know, when the cellist invites her to the concert and all the other musicians kind of look around kind of shifty, like, well, bro, you know what we're doing. you know what our last concert is, right?
She looks at the ticket and there's the Ultra Q on the ticket.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's a good touch.
But there's like such a melancholy to this episode that has not been present in like any other aspect of the show that I'm really here for.
I'm much more invested in these guys who just want to live their life, but they have to do the thing that they were sent here to do, than I am in Gento's mentor, who's like, you know, standard JRPG villain. You're ruining the world, so I have to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I love at the end, too, where he's just like, I want the rest of you to just live your lives. And the curtain closes. It's so good.
The episode ending with, like, the curtain closing, we don't see what happens after, is, like, a really strong way to end the episode.
Yeah.
I like that, you know, him telling them to live their life is, like, good in terms of, like, he's, like, the older one among them, and there's kind of like a feeling of, you know, he can't bring himself to not go through with it, but he thinks everyone else.
He's letting himself be the fall guy.
Yeah, he's letting himself be the fall guy, and he thinks everyone else has it in them to live their lives, and I guess he doesn't quite. I think it's good. I think it's sad.
Yeah.
And I think it's very cool.
Yeah. Also, it is funny that, you know, when they show the flashback of Henri meeting them 10 years earlier, she's, like, doing a jog as, like, part of her training, and then she just, like, leaves her training to, like, go talk to these random guys playing in the park.
Is it 10? Wait, what?
It's 10 years earlier.
Yeah, no, she knew them from, like, back. That's why she got the invite.
The invite was for 10 years?
No. She got the invite, and she's like, "Oh yeah, those guys I met 10 years ago."
I need to go
she had
back and
history
rewatch
with
this
them.
episode. This is shaken up everything. I assumed that they had given her an invite to their last concert.
They did, but just like,
They did, but she knew them already.
Oh, she knew them already. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Her hairstyle's pretty different in that scene too.
Okay. I understand now.
Also, just worth sliding in the bit with Gento at the beginning, just because it is like it's
I
not
was
a
going to
focus
bring that
episode.
up. Yeah.
It is important to talk about it a little bit.
Does anyone want to go ahead?
Gento finally talks to Blazar, and they're figuring it out. They have a clap system, a clap and shine back system going.
Yeah.
He goes into his mind palace, which is a void in space, where Blazar shows up as a constellation, and they try to chat for a little bit.
My mind palace is also a complete void.
But also, there's like a bit where it seems like Blazar like takes over Gento for a bit, because like Gento gets the Sans Undertale eye and like steals Yasunobu's V8.
He does get.
And then everyone
sans
goes,
eye.
"You hate vegetable drinks. What are you doing?"
Nobody even like questions the fact that he this guy just stole his like employee's drink, but they do question the fact
This
like
is just what bosses do.
You don't even like that one. I think someone in the Ultraman server I'm in mentioned that in some earlier episodes, if you look, and I have to go back and actually check, that Gento is left-handed, but like here Gento grabs with his right hand.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Blazar.
Do you think Yasunobu's mind palace is like the inside of a washing machine,
my
but with gym
God.
equipment inside?
Oh my god. It has to be. It has to be. His mind palace is. You know the episode of Evangelion where Ritsuko's in the brain, fixing it up. That's his
Yeah,
mind
the
palace,
Magi.
but there's
Yes.
also weights in there.
I do think it's also funny that like when the clapping goes maybe awry, the rock gets hot and he makes a scene again. Everyone's just like, dude,
Yes.
you okay?
The rocket like burning into his leg in his pocket. It's like, Jesus.
He also does a double rainbow buzzsaw to win.
He does do that. He's got his new special move. It does better. Garamon rocking up and stunting on Blazar with just Garamon moves, just standard waggling his arms, jumping around, flapping about a bit. Fantastic.
He like hits him with his back in a way that I never thought about, but I'm like, he is basically a pine cone that would be very painful.
He does like pierce the armor of the Garon cockpit. And Yasunobu was like, I'm almost dead. I'm gonna faint.
Yes, Yasunobu almost gets spiked by this
Almost
thing.
gets
It's like
Sro code.
yeah. But he's fine. He's just unconscious. He's just a little spooked. He's okay.
He had a spare helmet.
Shut the fuck up. He's fine. I'm fine. I just broke the glass. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything. It's just glass. Yeah. That's, I don't really have all that much to say after all that. It's just
I mean, admittedly, like a lot of the episode is more just like the fight scene alongside the concert.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it takes a while to watch and it's cool to watch, but just like, you can't really talk about it without like, if you're going deep to beef, the episode is like, and this is part where at the concert, and this is part with the fight, and the fight continues, and they keep playing, etc.
The weird thing is that it doesn't feel slow. Like, I was kind of shocked when the episode finally ended, because I'm like, oh god, it feels like not much has happened, but like it just flies by when you're watching.
It's also like when I was watching, I noticed, damn, it sure is weird how they have like all these commercial breaks so close to each other at the start of the episode, and then you realize it's because the last half of the episode has no commercial breaks because they just kept the whole thing
Oh,
going.
that's what happened. Yeah, that makes sense. It was sick. I did open up chat. I opened up chat to watch the chat replay and watch people react to the Cicada Men showing up and them playing the Ultra Q theme. Fantastic. Just across nations, everyone losing their minds.
Yeah, when I was watching
human beings can understand one another.
Yeah, when we were starting to watch the episode in the voice chat with the Ultraman server, I was just casually going cool if the Cicada Men were in this episode, and then 20 minutes later you get totally vindicated.
Hell yeah.
It's funny because I almost forget the Cicada Men exist when I think about Garamon. But they're so cool.
They even have the
that
exact
one-
same ship design.
That one guy shows up, kind of wrecks everyone's shit, and it almost pulls it off and looks just sweaty and nervous the whole time, and then it doesn't quite go right, and his bosses immediately incinerate him. I love that guy.
Yeah. He does shoot cops in that episode.
Hero. With their own guns.
Telekinetic guns that he stole.
Sorry for telling you to go watch Ultra Q and then spoiling Ultra Q, to be honest.
There's 28 other episodes. It's fine.
Yeah. They're all... Okay, I was going to say they're all bangers. That's not true.
That's not
Mostly
true.
all
It's not true. There's one in there.
We can't lie
villain.
about Fury of the South Seas.
What? Why was the octopus episode bad? The octopus episode should be good. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's everyone's lesson. Sometimes really good shows are also extremely racist occasionally.
Yeah.
It is the 60s. I do just want to point out that this episode was written by Sumio Uetake, who also wrote episode 10, next week's episode. I mention it because he actually passed away this year in February.
Oh no.
So
that's sad.
These two episodes were the last things he wrote, basically.
R.I.P.
Well, at least for this one, what a way to go out. That's such a shame.
Yeah. Well. R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And yeah, unless we have anything else, we can probably call that a podcast.
I think so.
These don't have to run long.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should I go into plugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to follow the show, you can do so on Twitter at @ultra_Q. That is at @ultra_QUEUE. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at @gender_redacted. Mel.
You can follow me at Dear Crowns on the various sites. We have an email, ultraqpod@gmail.com. We also have UltraQ Fund, the coffee for subs, media acquisition, etc. We're working on it.
Mm-hmm. We are. Razin.
You can find me everywhere at Rasenbran. That's RASENBRAN. Watch my Armored Core 6 streams on YouTube. I'm going through that game at a pretty healthy clip, IMO, so it's a fun time.
Sick. All right. Well, join us next week for more Ultraman Blazar. Join us on Thursday for Ultra Q to cover now. Spoilers maybe for my opinion coming up on that podcast. I think one of the best batches of episodes, one of the most consistent batches of episodes of Ultra 7 so far.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fantastic episodes.
Quite a podcast we're recording, coughing up blood.
Oh, fuck. Hell yeah. All right. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later. This is not our final concert, by the way.